Hello, I am Lucas Therian.
And I am Krishna Palvali.
This is part one of FRC 4561's beta presentation on the 2019 FRC beta. In this video, we will go over VS Code, changes to WPLibj, and some hardware tools. So, VS Code, the new IDE for FRC. Some notable features about it we'll go over in this video. The search function, the built-in terminal, the command palette, and the extensions. So the search function, this thing is incredibly useful. So you can look for keywords using this function and replace them with anything you want. Say in this example, replacing the Talon SRXs with Sparks.
In this slide, we're going to be going over the terminal usage in VS Code, and it is a very important feature as you can easily manage repositories with the help of Git commands. And the user can also choose which terminal they want to use as a default. For example, either PowerShell or Git Bash, which we used for our test.
The command palette is a means to execute commands such as deploying robot code or cloning a repository without having to type them in. There are some commands you will have to manually enter in the terminal, however.
Okay, so this is what I was talking about in the terminal side, and as you can see, you can use extensions which are, well, they're used to access most of the features. And these are helpful when we were beta testing, but before we had to beta test, we needed some required extensions in order to program in general, like the Java extension pack in our case, and the WPI lib extension. And we tested some of these features during our beta test. And GitLens is also an extension we used, and this extension allows us to view properties and also resolve Git conflicts much easier. And this has been very useful. So the main advantages of VS Code over Eclipse is that it has a quicker startup than Eclipse, and it has features like the control panel that provides easy access to commands and features, which is not a thing that Eclipse can do. They are customizable, and extensions are really easy to download. And also extensions allows the users to know what's going on in the code and also other conflicts.
Some changes to Java WPI lib. They added this new main class, which is now the location of the start robot method, and is called at the beginning of robot startup. The iterative robot class was deprecated, and time robot replaced it. Greater Rio is now used to deploy code. This has its advantages and disadvantages. The first deploy time you deploy robot code after you booted up VS Code, it is very slow because you have to build what's called a Gradle daemon. But after that, it is very, very fast. And third-party libraries, at least in VS Code, are a lot easier to access due to the vendor deps feature. The web-based config tool was moved to Google Chrome, but some of its functionality was lost to the CTRE diagnostics tool, which it is now the location of where you configure CAN devices and set their IDs, etc. There's also a whole bunch of other features, but due to time constraints, I'm not going to go over them in this video.